To learn the good, the bad, and the reality of the off-grid lifestyle, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. For the first time since we started our demolition project, tearing down the future site of our tiny house living off grid, you can finally see the front of the trailer from the back. Up until today, but obviously the trailer walls were in the way of being able to see the front. So we officially have half the trailer uncovered completely, and then the rest of it we just got to clean off the debris that has fallen down. We got the roof off yesterday. And today you saw that we're going to take all this debris up and burn it at a slow pace. We're not in any hurry. Like I said in many videos now, we work about 3 hours a day and then we call it quits. The limiting factor now is burning the material. Of course, a lot of people have suggested that we burn it in our wood stove this coming winter, and we have considered it. There's a lot of disadvantages, including advantages, by doing that. And we've just thought, you know what, let's just get it done and over with. Otherwise, we'd be cutting each board and the creosote would build up in the chimney of the wood stove and that we'd have to clean out all the time. And so a lot of this wood is just rotten, can't use. I have been saving some of the boards that are in better shape that I hope to reuse for something. Might be just to build our tiny house. But in the end, we are recycling a lot of it. So we've gotten a lot done in a short amount of time. Now, what is surprising, I think, is that I guess it's all in how you look at it, but I really feel like that everything we've done so far has been pretty much either no cost or very little cost. When Carolyn and I decided that we wanted to live off grid, we set aside $7,200 to buy the piece of property and to get ourselves living off grid. So we spent $4,200 on the property itself. It's an acre and a half, has a creek on it, had a well on it. And so then we spent the rest of the money getting so we could actually live here. Solar panels, a well pump, charge controller, extra battery. Oh, we had to build a base for the camper. Because we took the camper off the truck, we wanted to have a floor. So all that money is now gone. So about a week ago, I made a video where I was talking about some lady who was quite upset with me because I wasn't promoting a safe environment because I don't wear eye protection or earplugs or hard hat. As far as eye protection, even though I haven't went out and bought OSHA approved eye protection. I do wear my regular reading glasses when I'm sawing something. I have to because I can't see as it is. I was talking about how it really amazes me how many people cannot resist the idea of buying something. Not that long ago, I remember saying something, and within 5 minutes of the video being released, people told me to buy or rent something that came to the grand total of $4,000. I'm the type of guy who just doesn't want to spend money at all. It's an addiction nearly for me. I just don't want to spend it. And Carolyn is worse than I am. And that now that we are debt-free and we have a nice savings account, we don't see the need in spending it just because we have it. One of the things that I talked about in that video was that tree, and that I need to get it cut down because I think it's unsafe. And I'm worried about cutting it down. I'm worried that it's gonna land on the power lines behind it. Maybe a windstorm will knock it onto the power lines behind it. Or I'm afraid that if I cut it down, it will land on the well house, which there isn't much left because the tree that was sitting right next to it has already broke that apart. Or I'm worried it's gonna land on the trailer itself. So I said, I'm trying to save my money up so I can hire a professional to cut it down. And a lot of you suggested that I call the power company and they'll come and cut it down. Well, the reason I didn't bring it up in that video, and I guess I should because a lot of people said to do that, is I've tried that in the past. Called the power company and boy, they fought me, I bet, for a month. That it was on my property line and I was gonna have to resolve the problem. Finally, I said something or called somebody, I can't remember exactly, and it forced them to come out and do it. Well, they came out and they just trimmed a couple limbs. I was worried the tree was gonna fall over. They just trimmed a couple limbs. I was talking to the guy who was cutting the tree down, cutting the limbs down. I said, how come you're not cutting the whole tree down? Well, they told me not to. So what they did was they did whatever they needed to do to pass whatever regulatory requirement. I ended up paying the guy, I think it was $200, just to get the limbs down low enough where I could cut the tree down myself. And he said he wasn't going to take the brush away. I had to take all the brush away. So it wasn't free to me. It's not like they came out and actually resolved the problem. The tree still could have fallen onto the power lines. But one guy really impressed me. And I wish I'd have thought of it. And thank you so much for the suggestion. But what he said to do is take some of the deadfall around here or some of the trees around here, maybe even some of the wood and lumber that I have, and build a teepee around the well. I mean, it's not in good shape right now, but I don't want to make it any worse. And so if I build a teepee around the well, good and solid and strong where it doesn't move, and then I can cut the tree down, and if it hits the well, it won't hurt it because I got all that strong timber sitting there deflecting it. And see, that's the kind of solutions that I think we're gonna need in the near future. I think we're heading into a situation where our economy is in really bad shape. A few days ago, I told you I lost my job, one of my jobs. I had 8 contracts that I worked independently on, and every month they send me a check. And so I'm on call, kind of like a lawyer is to a company. I hire a lawyer to just be around in case they need a lawyer. Well, same thing with me, but it's for programming. I do a little bit of programming on the side. Nothing fancy, it's old technology. It's for these smaller companies. Well, now I've lost 3 of them. So I'm wanting to really slow down the spending. We may even wait to spend some money to buy materials to build our tiny house so we don't dip into savings. So I think we really need to start thinking about what are we gonna do? We're really gonna need to start thinking independently, where we can't go out and buy stuff. When I was talking about the tree, I was talking about how Carolyn is so allergic to poison ivy. And a lot of people say, well, you need to buy something. And of course, if I replied back, well, we got the pandemic and we can't go out and buy anything, well, then they say, well, you need to go and order something from Amazon. Well, again, I can't because I don't have an address. Well, Rob, you gotta get an address. I can't because there's a pandemic. So really, this pandemic has taught me a lot of things. Even though Carolyn and I were extremely frugal in the past, we're having to become more frugal. And we're really having to start inventing things and making things work, like building a teepee around the well pump, so I don't have to spend anywhere from $150 to $800 for a professional to come out and cut that down. This is the kind of inventive thinking I think all of us are going to have to do. And the thing that you need to do is like home remedy, natural substances. How do I resolve, foot fungus naturally? And there's all kinds of solutions. I think we're going to have to really start stepping back in time and thinking, how are we going to actually tear apart a trailer for free? All my electric is free with my solar panels. All my water is free with my well. Thanks for watching.